Hi. Hi. How's everyone doing today? Sorry, I wanted to start today's stream really early, like way earlier. But then I fell asleep on the couch after doing a bunch of housework in the morning. And then we had to go to the shop and then have lunch. And now I'm here. Hello. Also, welcome, Carl Rosie. I hope you have a lovely time in our community. Thank you so much for the follow. Hi, Metal. Hey, Callus. How is everyone doing? So we got started on these guys yesterday. We didn't do too much on them. We kind of just did a prime and then a little sponge highlight with a bright silver, then an oil wash. So today is kind of, we'll definitely get this lot finished. It'll be the first Necrons I've ever done. So I'm going to do some highlights. Wow. Hey, Foamy. How you doing? We're going to do some highlights, mostly on this guy. We're going to do some brass highlights on the gold, just to brighten them up a touch. And then we're going to do an all-over dry brush of everything with a very bright silver, just very carefully, just to brighten it up a bit, because it ended up a bit darker overnight. And then we'll start working on all the green stuff, of which there is a lot. So I do have a vague plan about how I want to do it. I've got some contrast paints. I've got some fluorescent paints. I've got a bunch of greens. We're going to keep it nice and simple. Then after we get these guys done, I mean, we might even be able to base them today. In fact, we can base them today because we did the oil wash yesterday. It should be quite easy. Yeah. So what are you guys working on today? Are you guys working on anything? Please do let me know. And if you're in Discord, ping me and post pics, and then I will share it with chat. Because it's always nice to see what people are up to. And we have some wonderful painters in our community. Yes. Got some white scars today. Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. My partner plays white scars. We're going to have a kill team game at some point during this Donathon event. With Kill Team White Scars versus Kill Team Death Guard, which should be quite fun. Nice iconic little matchup. Okay, so we're just gonna... How do I want to do this? Do I want to just take a dry brush approach for this, for the gold bits? Or do I want to be a bit more precise? I think I want to be a bit more precise. I also want to thin this with some glaze. What's my glaze medium? Just a little bit of glaze medium. We use glaze medium with metallics so that they stay nice and shiny. We may end up going over these with a second wash later on. Let's adjust the camera focus so that you all can see what I'm doing. Because it's no good. Where is the camera? Where is the camera properties? Wow. There you are. Focus. Oh, it's on auto. Why are you on auto? I never have you on auto. There we go. That'll do. Foamy. Ah. Okay. One redeem and then we get started painting. Hampter. How you doing, Foamy? Always lovely to see you. I should move this over here, really. Okay. Let's get started, shall we? There shouldn't be too much to do in terms of, like, adding to the gold. Mostly because it's mostly just this guy. And a tiny little crest. On each of the destroyers. Man, I kind of want to get a Skullpeck Lord. They look really cool. Alas, I don't have them. Your will is unbreakable. I don't know. I feel like there are definitely things that could test it. How you doing? It's lovely to see you as always. Ah! Why? What did I do? I am innocent. I have done nothing. Nothing. I wonder if I might have thinned this down just a little bit too much. Because it's meant to be quite a significant difference in tone. And then again, I have a look at it and then I see it in a slightly different angle and it looks great. Yeah, a relatively nice smooth blend here. You questioning my very being? How does that? You're also a chaos child too, so you have to get your day. Understandable, TVH. Understandable. You know, bonk means something very different in Britain. Just saying. You should Google it. Lol. Yes. Yeah, what does it mean? What? Then what? Then what? Then you should Google the definition, lol. You're gonna read your book and look? Okay, what are you reading? I hope you have a nice look. And I hope that you enjoy your book. So chat, once we get these Necrons done, which is probably going to be a couple hours off, what should we paint next? Or should we just do some building for the night? We have to build either the Skaven or the rest of Fungi's Combat Patrol. But the Skaven are more accessible because I need to kit bash the Infernus Marines because I use the bodies for something else. But I do have some Space Marine bodies, so we can still make them. But that was before I decided to do the Combat Patrol. So they'll be very unique looking Infernus Marines, if nothing else. Okay. Let's say that works for now. It's certainly quite a bit brighter than it was initially. A little bit more on this in a helmet crest. Do I want to add? Just a little bit on this bit on his forehead, actually. Cool. Now, we just go on to this bit. Nice and simple, because these guys don't have much that needs doing. Just a quick simple highlight. Okay. Silver dry brush next. We'll start with the little scarabs. Because they're just little guys. Where is my big dry brush, though? There's my dry brush. It's nice and clean, and then... It's using Vallejo silver because I just like Vallejo silver, honestly. I think it's one of my favorite, generally my favorite metallic paints for highlights because of how bright and reflective it is. Now we don't want it to overpower the rest of it. Hey Moo, how you doing? Bonk is just like snog. No? Ooh, the Jagged Icon Primarch book. That sounds lovely. Warhawk, I'm guessing. You killed the RUS in one swing. You good? Not long going up. Well, good morning. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you. Just gently, carefully buff out. You don't want these guys to get too shiny, just enough. Like really, just make them pop a bit more against the shadow. And hopefully we retain some of the gradiating like shadows from the oil wash as well. I think we're finally getting to that stage where these are looking pretty decent. The scarabs are going to be quite easy, because, like, yeah. You can see the difference that tiny little dry brush makes. It's so nice. We are literally making them sparkle. As they should. They're made of metal. They should be shiny. Halbert, thank you so much for the luck. I hope you have a lovely, lovely time. You had a war mag delivery arrive today. I'm going to spend some time magnetizing your daughter's combat patrol. Nice, nice. I hope that you have a fun time. Look at that. That looks so nice. I'm not trying to gas myself up. I just think it looks nice. The real test as to whether or not we actually get this right is to do on these guys. And of course the actual overseer we've got. Necrons are delightful to paint. It's just so chill compared to everything else I've worked on. I don't quite know how else to describe it. Like, the results just, they're so good for how much time and effort they take. I genuinely think this might be one of my favorite armies to paint. Just because, like, you can kind of just fuck around and have a great time with it. And the results, no matter what, are probably going to look half decent, if nothing else. But look at that. Does that not look fantastic? Just a little dry brush goes such a long way on these guys. Holy shit. Like, yeah. I might end up just doing the Hypercrypt Legion just because they're just that fun. Like, I'll be real with you, chat. I might just end up building the Hypercrypt Legion after this. I do have some Necron Warriors I need to paint, though. So I'll do that as well, I guess. But probably not today. I want to clear off all the stuff that's currently on the table before I start work on anything new. So we've got 2 different custom Demon Princes on the table. We've got some Assault Terminators in the new scale that I kit bashed that are going to be for our Cald Warden's army, which is a Dark Angel successor chapter. We've got the Emperor's Children Praetors on the table that we'll use for Horus Heresy. And there's like Fungi's Terminator characters, which I do need to do and I'm going to do at some point. But it's up to you guys what we do. They're already kind of started, so I should probably prioritize them, really. Also, if you're wondering, this is an Army Painter big dry brush from their very basic dry brush set. And I think it does amazing work. Like, I really like these Army Painter dry brushes. It feels like they're way better than the makeup brushes I usually use. And makeup brushes are generally quite effective for dry brushing. I think this is like a whole extra level. I think mainly because it's like the shape is purpose built for like doing that whole like roundish kind of thing. But yeah, getting this extra dry brush in over the whole model really makes it pop. So what's next? What's next? I need to go over the green bits here again. But I think I'll go over them in a lighter green, so that there's still a differentiation. It's also not meant to be the same material. I think I might do a thin black wash over the bits that were black before, since they've started to look a little bit too silver. We'll probably get like a nice brown, warm earth drop. Hey, Zal! You were looking at the stream preview and was thinking, Tiger done. How about then I looked closer and saw you. This is why it's called ghost. Wait, what? I'm not that pale. Wow. Am I white? Am I really pale? I go out quite often. Wow. I'm not that pale. God, now I'm all self-conscious about it. Lol. Ah! Ah. Okay, so I'm thinking... Bugger, I put my Agrax Earthshade away. Okay. Let's get that Earthshade back. I don't want to go with another oil wash, because that's going to be too much. Actually, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted Reichland Fleshade for the gold. It's quite warm, this wash. And a gorgeous cream, ale. I think it depends, really. It depends on how much sun I get. I've not been out too much lately because obviously we've been doing this. But I do tan up quite nicely. I get this really nice bronze complexion if I spend a lot of time in the sun. What am I doing? I am looking for a brush that I want to use for washing. Something not too large that I can be kind of precise with. But not too small that it's going to take ages, because it's just a simple wash. That'll do. You are the living pale. How do you get vitamin D, by the way, as an albino? Do you have to take supplements? Because, like, you can't go out in the sun very often, right? I don't know how it works. Just a little Reichland flesh shade on the little crests and all the gold bits. This brush is a little on the stiff side. Fun guy! Hello, how are you doing? We're painting some Necrons today. I should get the higher tech circle kill team before it goes out of stock or goes out of production. It looks really cool in terms of just the models you get. That, and it's just an excuse for another kill team. I definitely want to get the new Tomb World kill team though. Everything in there looks really cool. A little bit. Yeah, the Reichland flesh shade over the gold is just, it's just the final stage after the silver dry brush to bring it back down. How are you doing, Fungi? It's lovely to see you. You having a nice day? Are you at work today? Or do you have the day off? You doing any hobby stuff? You're doing some painting? I don't know what these orbs are, but I want to make them green. I don't know if they have any weapon purpose or anything. I just want them to be green. I don't know why, I just feel like they should be green. So I'm going to make them green, chat. It's not like anyone knows what they are, lol. Or if they do, it's not like they, It's probably not that important, right? Okay. Now that that's done, one last thing I want to do. I'm going to take some Hexwraith Flame and put that over the guy's tassels, because you can still see the darker orc flesh under there. I guess I could use... No, Tesseract Glow is too bright. Which one's Fate Trigger? I can't say I know it. Do you mean like from the Fate franchise? Or is it a different thing? Let me have a look. Oh. Oh, that looks kind of cool. That looks kind of cool, yeah. It's like an anime hero shooter kind of thing, right? But it's a freemium game, so... Again, I immediately do not want to play a freemium game. Wah. Okay. Hex Wraith Flame is probably going to be quite good on this. Sure, is your arms slightly different colors? Because when the sun comes through the window, pops the arm closes. LOL. That's kind of funny. It's a little bit funny. No, this is too bright. It kind of works though. Yeah. Okay, the last thing we need to do before we start working on the greens proper. A nice wash. I think I'm just going to take some black ink. Carbon black ink and then some speed paint medium. Just one drop. And we'll dilute it with about 3 drops of speed paint medium. You don't want it to be too thick, and carbon black is a very, very powerful pigment. That should do. I should let a little bit of the silver show through. On just the edges, which is what we like. While darkening it to a nice black steel kind of look. There is a true black instead of like a blue black that we had before, which is good. We're going to do the same on the pole arm here. Cool. Do I want to add that to the weapon bits? Yeah, we'll do a little bit of that on the weapon bits of these guys, just to break up the shape a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do that on the other 2 destroyers. And it just works really, really well. Really like using ink washers for stuff. It just works. Like, it's much nicer than using I think it's definitely like a better approach to doing contrast or speed paints. So I'm sure that that's basically what speed paints are. I just feel like having that control, that extra bit of control on how it looks is just adds to it, really. I suppose you could also just dilute speed paints, but there's something kind of nice just about using the direct pigments to me. I guess it's because, like, you know exactly what you're getting. You get to see the pigment number. And you also get things to be a lot more vibrant. I'll do a hydrate. One moment. Let me put this miniature down first. Wow. How do I want to do the green? I think my idea is to start with that's a good question, actually. I think I want to start with a darker green. I am taking care of myself. I am the best at taking care of myself. Did you remember to hydrate, chat? Be sure to do a sippy. If I'm a sippy, you must sippy. How do I want to do this? So, fortunately, we've got some scarabs to test out on. What I'm thinking is we just use warp lightning, and then we like just add a little fluorescent green highlight. Nice and simple. We've got a couple of other paints we might use, but I'm not so sure that we'll really need them, in all honesty. I like warp lightning here because it's a bit brighter than it's a bit brighter than orc flesh, which we used on the sort of jade of this guy's raiment, I want to call it. I like how the scarabs are all different sizes. That's cute. Yeah, this is a good color for this. Then when we go in with the fluorescent once this is dried, we'll kind of also do a little bit of a rim on the edges there. Just slight edge highlight with the neon green. Just to help sell that glow effect. But I could actually probably just leave that as is. Don't edge the minis. But you have to edge your minis. You don't edge your minis, it helps the readability. They're a lot easier to read if you edge them. It's like saying you don't shade your minis. You got to have the recesses shade. I'll just do all of the little eyes. You edge them while throwing shade at them. You're sadistic. Yes. Have you met me? Well. You degens. What are you like, honestly? You're just so... I love scarabs. They're just really easy. They're just super chill, don't you think? Lol. Lol, man. Okay. This is going a little bit faster than I thought it would, honestly. Okay. So we're going to start with... we'll just do the eyes for now. Then we'll switch to a larger brush for the weapons. I remember there was a time where I'd hate doing eyes. But these days I kind of feel like I can just do it with a measure of confidence, which is nice. Never stop painting, chat. Never stop painting. Lol. You didn't get that mark of Slanesh on your chest for nothing. Ayo. Now for the Overlord, he's going to have a bit more detail to him. So we'll linger on him with the small brush a bit longer than just doing the eyes. Don't I, oh, you've seen it. That's true, I have. Lol. But still. It's funny. It's funny. IO everything. I want to do this little cable-y cable here. Yes. Yes, I do. Well, this is actually kind of awkward to get into from the other side. Bugger. Bugger. Chapter over. How was it? Were you enjoying your book? I hope so. Is it your first Primarch novel? Okay. Did I do the eyes? I did not do the eyes. Ah, I'm moving my dragging. Okay. Now we switch to a large brush and get those blades done. And then we'll start with the glowy stuff. Just a question, have you ever watched any Gundam anime or read any of the manga? I have watched a lot of Gundam. My first was Gundam Wing. I watched a little bit of the Universal Century thing, but I don't really, it was so long ago I don't remember it. I've watched Gundam 00. I've watched Gundam, wait, is Exia part of 00? I can't remember. I've seen the one with Gundam Exia. I've watched Unicorn. I've watched Iron-Blooded Orphans. I've watched Witch from Mercury. I've seen some of the standalone Universal Century movies. I've also seen Gundam G-Quux. Exia season 1 of 00. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I enjoyed Gundam 00. It's a good time. I, in fact, have also built Gundams on this channel. And I have Gundams in my pile of shame. If you donate a certain amount of money, you can add to the build and paint queue. And that does include Gundams, lol. Iron-Blooded Orphans Season 2 was terrible, and I stand by that statement. I kind of enjoyed Iron-Blooded Orphans all the way through, in all honesty. It felt like it could have been longer, but I get why people don't like the ending, because, you know, it's literally... Season 2 was a lot of watch all the characters you've grown to know and love slowly die over time. Spoiler for what is it like 10 years old now? Hey, Gas Mask, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. You're scared to open your Gunpla box. On the topic, what's my favorite Gundam from any of the series? Ooh, that's a good question. I think my favorite to build has been the Gundam Ariel. I really like from Mercury series. I have to say I really like the God. I have the Gundam. I think I've got the Gundam somewhere here. Not Caliban, but the other one that came with it. I can't remember what it's called though, but that was a very cool Gundam design, and I would like to build that at some point. God, what was it called? I also really liked Gundam. Season 2 had characters acting against their own nature outside of the lead character. Oh yeah, no, that's fair. So if the brakes went off the train on their character growth, and Season 1 never happened. That's true. Barbatos Lupus Rex specifically is a favorite of mine. I really like the evolution of the Barbatos Gundam. Now, I know we're just going over this with contrast paint for now, but trust me, this is not the end. This is just the first stage to just quickly block in a bunch of color. Because they don't quite look like hyperphase weapons if they just look like contrast paint, I don't think. This is also a warm-up for how we're going to do Skaven weapons a little bit, in all honesty. So we'll be using a lot of the same paints for the Skaven weapons when we get around to them. Just need a bit more paint for that other side. Just to make it look a bit smoother. Well, Gundam build... A lot of Gundam build is just kit bashing actual Gundams, though. So for me, there's a bit of me that kind of... I feel like Gundam build is just like... eh? But I guess it does give them the license to go a bit crazy with some of the Gundam designs. But I don't know. I feel like Gundam build is kind of like whatever. Though I do like the take of the Italian Gundam wing. I like Fenice Ritacita's take on Gundam wing. I can't remember if that was the actual name. I've got that Gundam built in the thing. It's just a little bit more angular, you know? Like someone's turned a fucking Gundam wing into like a sports car. Or a hypercar, rather. That's what it feels like to me. And it kind of works, in all honesty. Wing holds a special place in my heart. But Makizuki is what Hero should have been. Which one is Makizuki again? I feel like I tried to rewatch Gundam Wing as an adult, and I can't. It's so edgy. It tries so hard to be edgy. It almost feels unwatchable. And I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like... This is part of the problem with growing up, chat. Is that sometimes you'll go back and think, oh yeah, that thing was really cool. Then you'll go back and rewatch it and like, oh my god, this is so terrible. I have developed critical thinking skills and I don't like these things that I used to love. And I'm like, no. My taste. It's evolved. And it feels awful because you can't enjoy the things you used to. But that still doesn't mean they don't hold their special place in your heart. Because, like, as awful as you've eventually realized that they are. Maybe it's just the first couple of episodes that make me feel that way, in fairness. But, like, it couldn't pass the 3-episode rule for me. When I wanted to sit down and rewatch it, which is really sad. Because, like, I thought it could. I thought I'd be like, no, it gets better, it gets better. And then Mikazuki Angus, the main... Oh, yeah, no, I liked Mikazuki. I'll be honest. I kind of forget a lot of characters' names. And then I need to be reminded who they are. Wow. Wait, his last name was Angus? You're too broke for the next few months to buy paint for them. They're getting the unpainted guys. I mean, you could build them. You could build them, right? Get them all prepped. You could slowly work your way through them. Make some progress so it's not just sitting in boxes. Right? I believe in you. Some progress is better than no progress. Yeah, he's one of the best written... He's heavy on the fighting without being hella edgy. Yeah, I really liked Mikazuki as a protagonist, in all honesty. I thought he was very enjoyable to watch. He's very clearly neurodivergent as well. Also, I have to say, of the Gundams, I know some people don't like Witch from Mercury, but I really loved how it evolved from a high school drama into, oh yeah, Gundam is really all about war crimes and trauma. Lol. And it's just really good to me. Like, the way it just like, let that mask slip from season 1 to season 2. And was like, yeah, did you think this was a high school fucking drama? No. No, get war crimes and family trauma. As Gundam has always been. Also, I really enjoyed the G-Quax anime. I get why some people don't like it, but like, I thought it was really fun. A lot of people are like, oh, multiverse is cringe. And I agree, multiverse is cringe. But it's not really a multiverse. It's like a universe inside someone's head, is what it feels like. Which isn't quite the same, right? Because she's in stasis in that fucking ship, right? Anyway, spoilers for that show. Sorry. I feel like I've been vague enough to not actually spoil anything. But I thought it was very cool. I feel like I feel like Shu is a bit of a dick, though. Like, he's a bit of a dick. And I don't get why the girls like him. Deep down. He's just Ismail, hangs out with them. Has a somewhat cute character design. It all just seems like very shallow, you know? To me, at least. You know, if I was lazy, I could actually just leave this here, because I don't think it looks bad for tabletop ready. Like, these look tabletop ready. They kind of work. Which I guess is the nice thing, but. I want us to go even further beyond. I want us to go even further beyond this. But yeah. Easy Necrons. Easy build, easy paint. Get some rubble under these after we've done the neon green stuff. But like if I based these and put them on the tabletop, I don't think anyone would complain. But then again, I do wonder if my standards are slightly lower since most of the armies I play against are basically unpainted. I prefer when media shows the reality of warfare and battle. People should be exposed to reality sometimes, even in fantasy settings. I agree. I agree. I agree. Which wasn't my thing. I understand why people like it. Did the whole school bit better than Wing did. No, I think genuinely Witch from Mercury did the whole school bit better than most actual, like, high school fucking anime. Like, there aren't many, like, high school anime that do the whole high school thing very well. Except for, like, things like Horimiya and whatnot. Lured people in with cutesy and then it crushed them like a huge mech suit splatting a man. Oh, that reminds me of this fucking, that reminds me of this fucking comic I saw of, Miorine offering what's-her-name a fucking tomato and then crushing it right in front of her face. That was funny. Although, you never get into the anime. That's fair. I mean, you don't have to appreciate every aspect of a media. Like, there's some people who are into Warhammer. They only like the books. They don't play the tabletop. They don't do any of that. And that's okay. It's a hobby. It's an interest. You find your own way to enjoy it. And don't let anyone else tell you how you should enjoy it. As far as I'm concerned. Like, we all have a right to enjoy the things our own way. And maybe some people are only about the game. They don't want to read any of the books. That's okay for them too. As long as they're having fun with their hobby, then it's a hobby for them. I get your gas mask. I don't mind playing against unpainted, but for me, it's a point of pride. Like, I like my models to be painted on the tabletop. But that's just me. Like, I don't impose that on anyone else. That's just how I like my miniatures to be at the end of the day. I will put unpainted models or works in progress on the tabletop if I don't have the models ready to make that army complete. But I'd rather not if I have the option. I think tabletop is fun. I love everything Warhammer because it's a mass, expansive universe that anyone can get into. I mean, I don't think there are any real... I mean, there are some people who, like, lose limbs, but you're in a sci-fi setting. Get bionics. You still probably have phantom pain and things that disabilities can, like, disabled people will empathize with. You know? Like, just because you've got a cybernetic replacement doesn't mean you're still not disabled. Like, I'm pretty sure there have been characters written that way in fiction, right? Just like how Geralt of Rivia is very much written as a disabled person. Like how he has lingering pain from injuries he has in the Witcher series, in the books. Like, yes, there's magic and stuff. But people are still people at the end of the day, and we are fragile creatures. A lot more so than any of us would like to admit most of the time. Just a little bit of neon green. Phantom Pain, you can't even say my name. As the memory's gone, are you feeling numb? Go on, call me. Lol. You had Phantom Pain and you immediately hear the fucking Metal Gear Solid song there. You know, I've never finished Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. I should probably do like a Metal Gear kind of thing. I love the Metal Gear franchise. It is very cool. I wonder if Tesseract Glow might actually be a better paint than what I'm using. Well, this is quite thin, so it's very easy to kind of blend in. Not everyone can afford the magical tech. That's true. That's true. Though most people in the Imperium, I believe that, like, serve in some military capacity. So it's not like they have to pay for it. But again, it really depends on the setting, the specific setting. I think it works for some settings, but it doesn't work for others. Again, it depends on the very specifics of the character. It's only like when you're in a massive world, like Warhammer, where there's like thousands of different planets and cultures. There's no one blanket rule. None whatsoever. And I don't think it's fair or appropriate to try and, like, put that down. Kojima didn't finish Metal Gear Solid 5 either. Konami didn't let him. Then they banned him from accepting the rewards that the game won. Really? Bruh. What dick move. What do we think that, chat? Does that look kind of glowy? I think it's quite subtle, but I like that. There's nothing wrong with people in wheelchairs. Though I imagine in Warhammer 40k they'd either have they'd end up with tracks, because like I remember playing Inquisitor, like the Inquisitor game, and one of his characters suffered an injury, and then the next mission he'd kit bash the whole model and replace his legs with like fucking tracked wheels, and I was like, bruh, that's sick. But again, I think it depends on what resources are available specifically. The Xanthas to give off a real glow. I mean, that's my plan. Slow but steady. Got a fair bit to go before we like actually fully like hit the goal for how these are all gonna look. But yeah, Inquisitor is very cool. It's a shame they stopped supporting that game system. But then they always, like, that was from the era where every summer they'd have a new specialist game that they'd put out there, sell, and then when they sold out, they just stopped making stuff for it, which is a real shame. Because a lot of Games Workshop's best games were their specialist games. Like Warhammer Quest and Space Hulk. Like, I know a lot of people, like, a lot of, like, people hype up 40k as the main game, but, like, it was never their best system. Never. One of the tech priest models is basically... Weird, really? I don't think I've seen that model. Okay. Okay. I like that. I really like how those scarabs are turning out.
Yes!
Pato Juigat just subscribed with Prime.
Pato!
Hello. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. I'll be real. I'm a little bit sick because I was sick and then I made Ponk sick with my sick. And then the sickness has evolved in Ponk and now Ponk's made me sick. So now I have Ponk sick. But I'm kind of like mostly okay. I just have a really sore throat and a little bit lethargic. But other than that, I'm okay. I had it's the reason why I think I fell asleep this morning for absolute ages without meaning to. Well, how are you doing, Pato? I hope that you're well. It's lovely to see you as always. I like how subtle this kind of UV paint is. It's a nice feeling. It's just like a light touch. I might go over this all with Tesseract Glow later as well. Just to amp up the bits that I really want to have that glow effect. So I think Tesseract Glow is a bit more prominent in its pigment, whereas this is a lot more subtle. Despite the fact that the bottle would imply that it's not. Yeah. Laguna! Hi! I'm good. We're doing, it's okay. It's just a minor bit. The cycle of sickness, hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully we'll both be better soon. I'm kind of hungry though, which is weird because I just ate like an hour or two ago. We had Chimkin Kiev for lunch. It was very tasty. It was full of garlic butter. Who does not like garlic butter in their chicken? They are wrong and shall live in the valley of wrongness henceforth. And we're just kind of adding some inconsistent, almost like non-metallic metal-esque highlights to these weapons, just to add a little bit of something extra to them. But like, it's very subtle with this paint. It doesn't really show up unless, you know, we use a UV light, but I'm not doing that today. The Tesseract Glow is a little bit more of a stronger effect. So I think this works for an initial thing, and then we'll pop Tesseract Glow as a layer on everything where it needs it. Okay. I'm glad that you're well, Pato. This was Callus's choice, but then I realized that three Scorpack destroyers were like too quick. So I thought, you know what, we'll just add some scarabs and we'll add the Necron Lord Overseer Overlord while we're at it. Because like it seems a bit unfair if it's just like such a very quick job. And while the Necron Overseer is a character and has more detail, at the end of the day, Necron bodies don't have that much on them, even the fancy ones, so they're very quick to paint. I think the one I'm going to have the most fun with is going to be the guy, you know, the Hyperphase guy that we've got. We have him in his box, like in the Hyper Crypt Legion army set from like last Christmas, which I still haven't touched. Wow. We'll get there eventually, chat. I mean, we could get that today if someone donates like 50 pounds. Lol. That would also get us the catnip time redeem, which means for channel points you can feed my cats catnip, and I will put them on cat cam, and a hilarious time will be had by all. Right? Continuing to shameless plug. I'm glad you're well, Pato. Man, that Warp Lightning looks really great on these weapons, in all honesty. I probably didn't even need to do any of this. But I'm still doing it. Not because I need to, but because I want to. I'm painting off stream again. If I remember right, Tesseract Glow also has similar properties where it's kind of a bit semi-translucent. A little bit of a glow around this. Okay. Just a little bit of a glow around the eyes here. A little bit neat. Just drain away some of the things from the recesses. That kind of like takes away from the glow if it's all in there. But yeah, I think that works for an initial coating. Let's have a look and see how Tesseract Glow has an impact. I don't think it's going to have a big one, in all honesty. I'm going to mix these up a little bit. You like Necrons? They are really easy to paint. Yeah, no, I agree. That's my overall feel of painting these Necrons right now. Is that yeah, they're just delightful. They're just really, really fun. Like, you don't have to stress. There's no like big worry about massive details or spilling stuff, because the bits that spill are almost always going to be like things that need OSL, right? And it's just quite simple, and I think it just looks very good with minimal effort compared to pretty much every army. Going from doing Emperor's Children to this, going from doing even Space Marines, regular loyalist Space Marines, to this, and definitely going from say Sisters of Battle to this is a breath of fresh air. Okay, I'm gonna get the Tesseract. This is a brighter neon green, which you can probably tell already. So I'm hoping just a little drop of this. I'm hoping the coverage is okay. Yeah, I think that's what I needed. Just that one bright spot of Tesseract Glow in the middle of the green is really kind of like helps cement the glow effect, I think. I could go even further and go white, but I think that might be too much, just due to the amount of silver that's around it. You know? Hey Vex, how you doing? Obviously easy is relative. I mean, I think it's just very simple. The models don't have a lot of intricate parts. Most of it is one color, and that color is silver, if that's how you choose to paint your dynasty. Obviously, you can make it a lot more complicated for yourself. But for me, I wanted something nice and simple and aesthetically very different to everything else I've got in my painting cupboard, which is honestly just default Necrons as they first came in, which is just like red, like silver, a little bit of gold here and there, and then yeah, it just works. Like, I'm making this more complex than it needs to be by adding this these highlights, but I do think it's worth it. Look at that. Do you not think, compared to how it was before, like this little dot in the middle is just a world of difference? in terms of conveying the idea that there's a glow. I'm very happy with this. Revising for exams again. Good luck. Work on the new 40k and a version of 40k WAP. Oh god. Oh god. What's possessing you to do that? Fucking hell. As long as you're having fun with it, I suppose. So what is the 40k version of WAP? Do you want to give us a teaser in chat, or is it not safe for Twitch? Color me curious, Vex. Color me curious. I need my customization. So the 4th edition codex and the plastic crack compels you. Lol. Your Warhammer Armies project. Oh, I thought you meant fucking... Yeah, I thought you meant the song. Yes. Okay, I get you. I'm gonna have a sip. I'm not Guna-brained. I forgot that you were doing a Warhammer Armies project, okay? I forgot. Don't at me. I'm not going to remember every single thing. Wah. Just get these eyeballs dotted. Okay. And now we do the weapon. Don't bonk me. I did nothing wrong. Wow. I am being attacked. This is unjust. Unjust behavior. Yeah, this one works much better. I can just finger paint blend it, and it just works. See a bit more of a difference between the different parts, and then we can edge highlight after. Okay. Does anyone actually enjoy edge highlighting lighting, chat? Does anyone actually enjoy it? So I don't think I do, in all honesty. I will admit, it does have its place on miniatures. It's just really annoying when there's big chunky weapons like this where you really should edge highlight to really get the shape well defined. You want to hear it? You know my stance on highlighting? You have a damn marathon on pause because you have so much unhighlighted shit. Lol. Yeah, I know your thoughts on it. But like, it just helps with readability so much. I do like more subtle takes on it though, like what I'm trying to do here. Okay. I think that's pretty decent. I'm still not entirely sure though. You know, I think that works. It's just a little bit more reflective looking and brighter than it was before. That's all I needed. So aside from that, you just do dry brush layering and be done with it. Now, I could. I don't actually know how this paint deals with dry brushing. Let's have a look. Let's do an experiment. Have a little experiment, shall we? No, this brush is too stiff. I need to clean it. I had another dry brush that would have been perfect. There it is. Let's try this. Let's try it on these weapons. Oh god, that does actually work really, really well. Fuck. Okay, cool. We're speed running this now, chat. Holy shit. What am I doing? Like, I dry brush highlighted this whole miniature, and I'm just like, oh yeah, we'll edge highlight the weapons. I'm just like, no. No, this is bullshit. This takes so long. We will go back and manually do some of the highlights, though. Sometimes, chat, I need you to remind me of the simplest things when I overcomplicate them. Okay. Let's do the other one now. Nice and quick. Easy does it. Just need to go in and make sure those very edges of the weapons are looking well covered. Yeah. So I'm gonna just go over and do that with this, just to make sure the look is consistent. Yes. Yes is the answer. Yeah, that kind of just works. Kind of just works. And the weapons is quite large, so you can kind of just do the whole, like, almost not quite non-metallic metal shading with them, because the blades are quite large, and so the kind of just dry brushing that on kind of works. Yeah, no, this makes life so much easier. And this is one of the reasons why I like to paint with chat, because, like, you'll help me do things in a way that's just a bit more sensible sometimes. And I appreciate that a lot. Beppis, hey, how you doing? Lovely to see you again. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's always lovely to see you when you drop by. Yes. Can we get a shout out? Oh, thank you, Metal. You're good. Just abiotic factor. What's That's a game, isn't it? I feel like I know of it, but I don't know what it is, if that makes sense. Just a little bit of an overpaint here to just create some glow off these weapons. Feels like a good idea. Just a little bit. Like, not massive OSL, just a little bit in the surrounding areas. I do that with these as well. I didn't. I should do that. And it just works. A little bit of overcolor. And that works quite well, I think. Your fast survival craft game? Favorite sort? I think games like Grounded or The Forest. I don't think I've played either of those. In all honesty. Sorry to disappoint. Wow. I always feel a little bit bad when people are like, oh, this is my favorite thing. And I'm like, I've never experienced this, ever. You need to change that. Ew. Well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Not tonight, because tonight's hobby night. But, like... I don't know. I think the only thing I've got is I've got a collab on Thursday and a collab on Saturday booked. So I think on the Saturday collab, we never actually decided what we're doing. All we know is we're just going to hang out. Lol. Which is funny. A little bit too hard on that there. Okay, a tiny little bit on the eyes of these guys, which I haven't done yet, I don't think. I need to adjust focus. God, how long have I needed to adjust the camera focus for? What? Okay. Last guy is the Overlord. Then I guess we're moving on to basing after this. Nice and simple. Let me just dot these I's. Just drain that away. We don't want too much. Add a little bit here on the little tubey tube. And then we get back onto weapon dry brushing. A bit too much there. Okay. That works. Yeah. Okay. Let's get onto the dry brushing stage now. You want to hear the AP system you came up with? Go on. I'm curious as to how it's going to be different, because there's two AP systems I know. One is it reduces the armor save by a certain amount, which is the current one. And the old one, which is... it bypasses any save of that value or higher. Both of which kind of, I think, work in their own way. But it very much depends on the weapons and the AP levels as to which is balanced. Phantom! Hello, how are you doing? We're almost done with this, actually. Almost done. Doing a little bit of OSL on the glowy weapons. Was here if there wasn't. No, that's fair. Oh yeah, no, I'm fine with hearing it. Go on. What you got for us, Vex? What do you show me? What you got? Dip over there. Then back in. Okay. What do we think, chat? What do we think? Are these guys ready for basing? I kind of feel like they are, honestly. Actually, let's just hold each of them up. Let's start with the little scarabs. They're just little guys. What do you think? Do we need to make the bright spot in the center of each of these a little bit brighter? Do we think they work as is? I feel like they work as is. I think that's fair. Elite armies should feel elite. They should be small and powerful. And if they're not very elite, are they? I really like these scarabs on it. I think the scarabs are my favorite models. They're just very simple. They work so well. Just a little bit of OSL on these, like very simple dry brush OSL. It works though. It works really well. It's very simple and it just does the job. It just does the job. And what more do you want? Like, what more are we expecting? Subtle is something better than exaggerated. I don't know. I hear that you want to exaggerate stuff on miniature painting because obviously it's quite small and you want it to be readable from like 2 foot away. But I feel like this all kind of works as is. Yeah. I'm pretty happy, honestly. For a first attempt at Necrons, I think they've come out really, 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 really good. In my opinion. Like, for a first attempt, not really using any references, and just cracking on with the things I know kind of are gonna work. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I wonder if I could knock out an entire army in before this Donathon ends. I do have that Hypercrypt Legion box. I do kind of want to build it, but like chat chose Skaven, so Skaven it is later. First, I want to finish painting some of the stuff on my desk, like these 2 demon princes and maybe the Terminator guys. Well, no one's really going to be examining models unless you're that kind of nerd. No, that's true. Necrons are really good. Metallics are easy to do. Easy to screw up to. The porks? What's the porks? What? I don't get it. Oh, the punk orcs. I'm not painting punk's orcs, am I? I need to teach Pink how to paint them. But I've not been told to paint them. No one's donated enough to say to say I'm gonna paint Punk's orcs. But we will probably paint the kill team together. We will paint the kill team together. In fact, I've thought of a nice little narrative for 40k. You know how we're doing an escalation narrative for Horus Heresy later in the year. I figured that we could do the same thing, but with 40k, and we'll just do orcs versus Emperor's Children. Okay, it is time. It is time to make use of the suspicious liquid, which is somewhere that I can't see. Where is my PVA glue? Found it. Found it. These guys are going to be really simple. Should I rim the bases first? Can you see a close-up of the bug boys? The little scarabs. They're just little guys. I'm really happy with them. Like, genuinely, I think these... Like, they're very simple, but they look so good. I think the oil... Cat, please don't press buttons on my keyboard. Liz. Look at this creature. She gives no fucks. This fucking child. This actual baby. Look at her, chat. Okay. Into the jar of dirt you go. After I get some glue on your base. You know, I do have to wonder, whoever designed the Scarab Swarm didn't really think too hard about how you're meant to base the Scarab Swarm after you've painted them or built them. They really didn't. But like that, the way that they attach to the base, it doesn't really support the idea that they are the kind of miniature you pre-base before you assemble them. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit weird, isn't it? I have PVA glue. Oh no, I've got PVA glue on my trousers. It's fine. That'll wash out. Into the dirt jar. Okay, I need to get more glue on this because this is not very well covered right now. How are they going to base them? Sounds like a them problem. Lol. The designer of the scarabs, probably. Lol. Yeah, no, I can see that. There really is a them problem. Like, or a me problem right now. Holy shit, this is annoying. Can I see a close? Can't press everything. Don't press everything, Evie. Do not. Very simple and effective. Feels very Tomb World as well. I just need to rim the bases black, which I can do whenever. Everything else is kind of easy, chill to base, but like, I don't know what I'm meant to do with this weird rock. I don't even know why it's here. I'm just gonna clip it away. I'm just gonna clip it away. Where are my clippers? I don't want this random rock. It's not even like one of those rocks that like is actually attached to the fucking base. It's just away with you. Away with you, random base element that does nothing to contribute to the model. Okay, anyway. Let's keep basing the scarabs because they are clearly the most annoying thing I'm going to have to do all day. I just want it done. Oh god, I've got so much PVA glue on my hands. Ah! I'm not sus, chat, I swear. It's just glue. I kind of like that you can just bury the whole model in the sand. And it kind of just works. I wonder if there'll be another game off with Necrons as the main antagonist after Mechanicus. Ah. Cool. Right. Man, this is annoying. I need tissue. I'll be back in a sec, chat. Get tissue. What? Okay. Necromunda is more like Doom. Necromunda's great. We need to stall that for that style one, okay? What? We have named him Havel. Well, The Rock. Yeah, how to write and Emperor's Children homebrew rules when I get to it. Well, you just poke me when you get to it. Because I mean, Emperor's Children and Dark Angels are largely going to be like standard Chaos and regular Space Marines. So it's more the special rules and the specific kinds of units they get. Oh, the PC. Oh yeah, hired gun. I forgot that that's a thing. I need to play it at some point. I will play it at some point. The Necromunda. There's also another Necromunda PC game, which is kind of like I've not heard much about it, but apparently it's like an adaptation of the tabletop, kind of in the same way that the Mordheim game is an adaptation for the tabletop. And I don't know that that's going to translate very well. At least I hope it translates better than the Mordheim one did, because Mordheim was not super great, in my opinion. Because I remember the tabletop was fantastic. But the game adaptation of Mordheim left a fair bit to be desired. Mostly because it was like a trimmed down version of the tabletop, but felt just as long, if not longer. But also, Mordheim was a very punishing game. And it feels very much like that in the PC adaptation. Got these little guys. I kind of like getting a little bit of the dirt on top of them, just 'cause I think it looks quite nice, honestly. Okay. We're just going to keep basing, and then I'm going to call these guys done for the day. Then we can pick something else to paint. I'll leave a chat poll up to you guys to do. But it's Hobby Tuesday. Unless you guys really want to play video games, we're just going to be painting pretty much all evening. Maybe some building, but mostly painting. And we're just spreading around the PVA on the base of this guy. These guys will be way easier to base, honestly. They've got so much room. We're just spreading that around, and then he's just going to have a little dunk. Just a little dunk in there. And we just shake off any loose debris. A little tappy tap. Oh god. Maybe not so much of a tappy tap, considering half of it just came off. Just a little shake. And then, yeah, I should probably raise the camera. How does it feel to be ancient? Do you feel wiser? What? No? Imagine actually feeling wiser because you're older. You should feel wiser, but I think the truth is, wisdom is an illusion. People may think they learn from their mistakes, but ultimately we are creatures of habit. It takes a lot to grow as an individual. More so than I think most of us would like to admit. More so than I think anyone would really like to admit. Including me. Sometimes I think I learn, and then I realize I have learned nothing. Speak for yourself. Well, I do, because I can only speak from my own experience. You put more into your int. But that's not what wisdom is. That's not wisdom. That's not wisdom, Phantom! It's not. It's not. It's not. It's literally a different stat, Phantom. It's literally a different stat. No. I refuse. I refuse to be pranked by this nonsense. I refuse. You can't do it. You can't do it. I will not stand for it. I will not. Cool. And that's that guy done. I could just leave that for a couple hours and they'll basically be done. I'll need to rim the bases probably in the morning, or I say in the morning. I am wise and could inform you about firearms, but I lack the intelligence to be described. Being wise and being intelligent, similar, but they're in fact two different stats. Where's the Mechanicus kill team? I don't have a Mechanicus kill team. I didn't get it. I didn't get the Mechanicus kill team. I wanted all the servitors. They were really cool. But they sold out in like seconds. Because, like, let's be honest, that set was hype as fuck. I even played Tyranids, but the Tyranids were really cool as well. I say this, I have a bunch of Tyranids. I do, in fact, have a bunch of Tyranids. From Combat Patrol magazine, and then I picked up some duplicate issues because I thought they were just really good value for money. Like £5 for a squad of Bob Gaunts? Hell yeah. Some of the cheapest Warhammer you can pick up. Oh, there's a bit of me that's tempted to get the Death Dread issue a second time. But it's a two-part issue, so like there's no guarantee that you can get both. If you're in the UK, you can pre-order from Forbidden Planet, by the way. Easy. You're annoyed that you wanted to get that kill team box for your nids? Yeah, like, the scenery itself, I think, for me, the scenery was the coolest bit. But I'm really hoping, like, I'm hoping beyond hope that I can get my hands on the new kill team, on the new Tomb World kill team. I can't believe on my post, by the way, I typoed Tomb World as Womb World. And every time... I never corrected it. I never corrected it because I thought it was funny. People had to double take. It was an accident, I swear. But, like, funny. I'm going to take the Imperium to Womb World because I am going to fuck it so hard. The Necrons, probably. That's my headcanon for why I called it that now. And for always. But yeah, easy. Done. Done, 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 done. I wasn't entirely sure about the dark basing, but I think I'm actually quite happy with it, honestly. The silver really stands out. I don't think that's too bad for a first attempt at doing Necrons. They're very fun and easy models to paint. Yeah. Like, look at this guy. I don't think he's too bad at all. Especially not for, like, the speed with which we got him on the tabletop ready. Anyway, I need to clean up this PVA glue. I might need to get another one of these bags, like bags for this particular kind of dirt, because like the rate I'm starting to go through it with all the things I'm basing in it is yeah. I'm gonna need another jar of dirt soon. Cool. Let's do a poll and see what we want to paint next.